Welcome back to the show. In today's episode, we're going to talk about trading routines, the importance of having one, what to consider in your routine, and of course, how to develop them. Now, today's podcast comes from a recording from a video series we have on YouTube called The Trader Coffee Break. This is where Jason Greystone and myself get together and just have a little bit of water cooler talk about what's happening in the markets. If you want to catch it live and be part of the discussion, join in every Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. New York, 3 p.m. UK. Just YouTube search The Trader Coffee Break on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and you won't miss the next time we go live.
And if this is the first time you're listening, welcome. This is a great channel full of great trader topics, and it's a phenomenal resource for new traders, older traders, and it's just a good place to come and hang out every week. We've been a little bit inconsistent due to being overtaken by events for the last few weeks, but we'll keep doing these things. You know, we'll try and keep it as consistent as possible. And this week we're going to be talking, I'm keeping it consistent just like my next door neighbor's gardener, who seems to turn up every single time. Man.
I thought it was me for a second. I'm looking outside. I'm like, why?
I'll just mute it when I yeah. Afternoon, Tony. Afternoon, Chris. So we're talking about trading routines, right? Akil, trading routines.
Yeah, it's important. I can tell you what. So I just listened to the accountability session that you did last Friday with, I think it was Jeremy and George, and a quote that you said really stuck out to me. And it's like, if you want to be successful at anything, you need to have a routine. So we're talking, business, we're talking family. Remember the stories you told me about setting up your family and how you have a schedule and you're consistent with blocking off a certain amount of time to spend with that family. Anything in life that you want to be successful in needs routine, and trading is exactly the same. First of all, trading is a business. Second of all, trading, right? If we're teaching our trading like a business, the key to successful trading is being consistent, right? Everyone gets a win every once in a while. Everyone does great, has a good month. But the difference between the consistently profitable traders, the long-term consistently profitable traders, and the ones that aren't, are that consistency. So I know we preach a message that says consistent analysis plus consistent execution equals consistent results, meaning that if you consistently do what you're supposed to do, you should get the results that you expect. And if you don't have a routine, well, how are you going to hold yourself accountable, or even how are you even going to know what to do? So Absolutely. It's everything, in my opinion.
Yeah. And consistency is really everything in trading anyway. And I always say, if you can start by building your trading system off of consistency, even if that is just your learning routine, just when you're learning, have a routine so that when you start trading, it's all built off of that consistent routine. And consistency is really the key to anything in life. People who, I guess, what are the struggles for people who don't have a trading routine? What might they be experiencing as a result of that?
It's a really good question.
What do you guys think in the comments?
Consistency is the mother of mastery. I see that. That is true. Man, that's another good one. I got to write this stuff down.
Yeah, right.
But it's and when it comes to consistency, and I think, so a lot of people struggle with trading psychology, right? They have these emotional tugs in one way or the other whenever they're analyzing the chart, whenever they're trading, even when they're learning. And I think one thing that people don't understand about consistency, or just about having a routine, is that a routine helps to calm your nerves. Again, one of the reasons we missed this Trader Coffee Break for so long is we had a big workshop for 2 weeks in early May.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
You walk through the example of, hey, when you are a pilot and a co-pilot, before they ever take off in a plane, what do? They have their checklist. Boom, check, boom, check, boom, check. They could have done this a million times in the past, but every single time they do that checklist because it gives them peace of mind. They're comfortable that they have checked everything. You look at your favorite, athlete, basketball player, baseball player, soccer player, what have you, before they do anything of importance, a penalty kick or a foul shot or stepping in the batter's box, they have a routine. They adjust this, they adjust that, they take 2 deep breaths, they spin the ball, right? It makes them comfortable. And when we're comfortable, we're better, we're more in charge of our emotions. So you can imagine that in the actual market, right? When you do your routine, hey, I've done my top-down analysis, I've looked at everything I'm supposed to do, I know that I have everything in check. I know what trades are on my radar, I know how I'm going to go through them. There's no kind of panic. When you don't have that routine, it's like, oh, did I check euro dollar? Did I do this?
Yeah.
Oh, Tesla's going up. Was I supposed to be in that? Now you're panicking and you're more likely to make an emotional reaction. And unfortunately, your emotional reactions aren't good in the market. We make kind of decisions based on those emotions, and they typically end pretty poorly. So the comfortability of having that routine is important as well.
Yeah, right. And Tony makes a really good point. It says it helps with your psyche, and you know when to switch off. Having a routine makes you stick to something, and it also makes you stop something as well, which is, we're just, the way that we've evolved, we like routine. We like start and stop. We need to know what something is out of. And if you don't have a routine, you can suffer some serious anxiety and stress, and you can really spiral out of control because you get overwhelmed. You feel like you should always be doing something, and if you're not doing it, you're falling behind. Whereas if you've got a routine and you set aside blocks of time, you know when you're trading, when you're doing your post-market analysis, when you're doing your pre-market analysis, when to review your trading, and ultimately when to stop trading. And that's just as important as to know when to trade. Knowing when to stop's a massive part of it, and it's that allows you to think. It kind of gives you a peace of mind that's like, right, there is an end to this, and that's what we need. We need a start point and an end point, and a routine will allow you to have that. If someone was to say to you, look, to get big muscles, you've just got to go to the gym. Well, you're not going to go to the gym for 9 hours in the day, are you? You need to go, right, well, how long do I need to stress my muscle for? You need to stress it for 45 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it might be, right? And then you have to stop, otherwise your muscle won't grow. And you have that, and you settle for that, and you're happy with that. And the same applies to your trading. If you're staring at the charts constantly, 24 hours a day, and there's no routine, and then you're drinking Coke and drinking beer and got a terrible diet while you're trying to do it, and there's no routine in your food and diet, and your life is on your desk, you're not going to have a very good time. You're not going to have very good time, and you're not going to have very good health, and you're not going to have very good results. So
I like what you said about the switch off, because I was talking to our traders this morning about all the time in trading, but specifically in summer trading, we get very busy days, and then we get very light days where there's nothing going on. I remember one of the traders asked me, hey, when it's a light day, do you just do nothing? And I'm like, no, I still go through my routine every single time. The same, because you never know when those busy days are going to come.
Yeah.
But even on the light days, because a big issue that a lot of traders have, as you mentioned, is when do I switch off? It's hard for especially newer traders to not trade. I mean, we are traders. We're supposed to be trading all the time. But one of the biggest parts of trading is not trading. And if you don't have a routine, I'll take an example of like doing your top-down analysis, going through your portfolio, checking whatever you're supposed to be checking, whether it's looking for a specific setup, whether it's identifying your key levels of structure, stuff like that, right? If you don't do that, you're left wondering, right? The markets are slow, and then you turn to Twitter or TikTok, and everyone's talking about, oh, this is moving and that's moving, and they're like, well, should I be involved in that? Am I supposed to take that, right? You don't know, and then you panic. But if you go through your routine, so, if I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and I do my top-down analysis, and I go through euro dollar, pound dollar, euro yen, pound dollar, or a pound yen, dollar Canada, dollar yen, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, Aussie Canada, if I go through my entire portfolio, do everything that I'm supposed to do, and see that there is nothing on the radar for me, I can be fine and at peace for the rest of the day, playing some golf, hitting the gym, going on a bike ride, reading the book, without in the back of my mind thinking, did I miss anything? Did I do this? Did I do that? Right. So that switch off is so important just for quality of life, because there's, we can tell you from personal experience, there's nothing worse than trying to enjoy life, whether it's with family or friends, and in the back of your mind, you're like, was I
I've done that. I've done that before.
Did I put a stop loss? And then it just ruins everything else, because that ends up being the most important thing. And then, is just destructive as a trader. So switching off is so important and not really talked about at all.
No. So like what your routine might look like is, what not just how you trade, but how you prepare, what you do in the morning when you get up, what frame of mind, what are you doing before trading that puts your frame of mind in the right frame of mind, put your mind in the right frame of mind so that you trade at your best. When do you take regular breaks from your trading? What happens if, and it kind of merges into your trade plan as well, what happens if you have 2 losing trades in a row and you get a little bit, do you have a routine where you get away for a minute? It's not just about what you're doing when you're trading, it's what you do before that gives you that peace of mind, that healthy mental peace of mind. So like, as Akil just said, the first thing you might do when you get up, this is what I do. I don't know about you, Akil, but when I get up in the morning, if there's anything that's been close to completion the night before or I'm in a trade, the first thing I'll do is check the charts, but literally just a quick scan. It's just a quick scan. What happened? Did I get filled or do I need to place an order? Literally takes 2 minutes. Then I go and down a load of water, I make a coffee, I sit in darkness, literally just sit on my sofa and stare out, and I just think for a bit, and I think for about 20 minutes about the day, how it's going to go, what I want to get done, and that all helps clear your mind for other stuff to be focused on, like trading. So by the time I get to my trading desk, I'm then just focused on the trading. I'm not focused about all the other stuff that is going on. I've got a little list of things that I want to get done after I've done my trading session. Haven't got to think about that now. Now I'm just in the trading routine. And then the trading routine comes alive and it's just systematic, mundane, monotonous. It's a very kind of process-driven thing where we just go through the markets. We run the live room. Lots of you have seen us do that anyway. But that is very much what the trading looks like. And then after the trading, if I've had a bad one and I've got a bit agitated, which is very, very rare these days, I can't remember the last time I had a day like that, but I would definitely go for a walk. And most importantly, I make sure that trading doesn't take up the majority of my time. I never want it to take up the majority of my time because I want my routine to balance out all the other areas of my life. So being able to spend a bit of time with my kids, my sons, my wife, whatever it is. So I don't know about you, Akil, but that's kind of my routine. It really doesn't have to be any complex than that, but you just have to have one. It's really going to help you.
Yeah, mine is very similar. It reminds me, I wrote this article for FX Trader Magazine years ago, kind of walking through my routine, and not much has changed since. But one of the first things I do, I don't sit in darkness and stare, but I do something very similar. And basically what Jason is talking about is, you wake up, you do want to do damage control, right? So you want to see what got filled. Do I need to adjust anything? Is there anything that needs to be handled right now? And typically, that stuff from the day before. So it's not new stuff. You have written down from, what you're in already, what got filled last night, or what pending orders you have. So that's a quick check. But after that, you do want to do that self-checkup. And the sitting in darkness, staring off into the land is that self-checkup, because we never want to enter the market in an emotional state, whether it's emotional because something bad happened the day before, a breakup, an accident, and a lack of sleep, a rough night on the town. We've been there as well. We never want to enter the market when we're in those states. We also don't want to enter the market overwhelmed, right? So if there's like stuff that has to be done right now, you don't want to be doing your analysis while worrying about the stuff that has to be done, because now you're not really focusing on your analysis. You're going through the motions, but you're really like, how can I get through this as quick as possible so I can do this other stuff? So you want to have that clear mind. You want to have that self-check so that when it's time to trade and focus, you're fully focused. So I do the same thing. And then I always make sure, and I'm sure you do the same thing, after my general top-down analysis before we start the live rooms, I take a break. So my break is typically anywhere between 45 minutes to 30 minutes at minimum, or an hour to about 30 minutes minimum of doing non-trading related stuff. So taking time to make a nice breakfast, taking time to, talk to my kids before they leave for school in the morning, right? Getting away from the market before actually hopping back in. Because again, if you're spending too much time in the market, that has the same effect as not spending enough time in the market, where your mind just turns to kind of mush. You're overwhelmed. So to know your agenda, to take a break, to calm before a storm, and then boom, to get back into it with breaks in between is a really healthy way to go about it. And then, same with you. After my trading day is done, depending on if it's good or great, I typically find some time to do some type of physical fitness or read a book. I was telling you earlier, I started cracking open the Unknown Market Wizards, and now I'm suffering an allergy attack because of it. But some type of continued education, some types of review. I like randomly looking at charts each day. So I try to invest about a half an hour or so, just going to a random chart and just looking at it and just practicing my skill. Hey, going to, the Dow or something like that, or the Dixie, can I make predictions? Stuff like that.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, awesome. So what are your guys' routines? Let us know. Tony says, I will also wake up at 5 a.m., then I go straight back to sleep and get up at a more sensible time.
Good routine.
Jordan Peterson says you need a routine to help regulate your healthy mentally and physical state. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Also, he says it becomes robotic. That's the point of a routine. It just gives us, it makes us content in whatever our endeavor is, so that we know where the start and stop is, where there's a healthy balance, making sure that we're consistently doing something. And progress is kind of inevitable when you've got a routine. When you're out of routine, sorry, Akil, what was you going to say?
I said I would enter a challenge to anyone out there listening to this that doesn't have a routine, right? Create a routine, right? It doesn't matter what it is, but create a routine and stick to it for 30-day challenge. Is that good enough for them?
Yeah.
All right. The whole habit breaking thing. Maybe stick to it for 30 days and see if you notice a difference in your trading. And I'm not just talking about P&L, but I'm talking about how confident you are, how comfortable you are when you're on the charts. I guarantee you will. I know the answer if you stick to it, but I think you'll find that once you do it, you're never gonna go back.
Yeah.
You're never gonna go back. I promise you.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. Well, I look forward to seeing some of your guys' comments and routines and things like that. Let us know in the comments. Also, if you haven't already shared this channel with someone, please do, because this is a great resource for traders and there's lots of terrible advice out there. So we want to make sure that people get good, they feel like they're part of a discussion where it's non-biased, but it's valuable information that isn't really spoken about elsewhere. So please share the channel. Tony says must-dos are check the charts in the morning to see what happened overnight. I also check the charts at night and see how the day played out. Absolutely. That's a key, those are key steps in your routine as a trader, I would say. And appreciate you all for contributing to this episode. And if you've enjoyed it, let us know. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. And Akil, you got anything else for today?
No, that's about it. I was going to say, if I can find the article I wrote, I'll shoot it to you so you can put it in the show notes.
Yeah, cool.
It's from a long time ago, but hopefully the Google worked. But yeah, it's just to give you kind of an idea of what my routine is, and something that I wrote a long time ago. But again, it hasn't changed too much. But do that. And if you have a routine, share it in the comment section. I think it's really cool, especially for newer traders, to kind of see different examples, not just Jason and myself and what we do, but other people. What are you doing? Maybe you have something in your routine that's a little different. When I was a younger trader, after a good or bad trade, I'd play 2 songs, right? I had a playlist for wins, a playlist for losses. And in order to get myself back in the right trading mindset, not becoming too overconfident or too depressed, I would play a song, I'd play some air guitar, jump around, dance around the room. And then my thing was, once those 2 songs were over, boom, I had to forget about the previous trade and focus on the new one. So if you have anything fun like that, type it in, because those things are cool and they can certainly be helpful to our community out there.
Cool. And lastly, I just want to say, if you guys have got a topic you would love to discuss sort of over a coffee, shoot it in. Put it in the comments. We're always looking through the comments to see what we can talk about during these sessions. They're not rehearsed. They're not, we don't plan anything on these. We literally just go for it. So until next week, have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you here next week. Take care.
Hope you enjoyed the episode. Remember, subscribe to the Trader Coffee Break channel. We go live on Wednesdays, 10 a.m. New York, 3 p.m. UK, talking about the subjects that, well, really you don't hear a lot about over the internet. We do it in a nice laid-back fashion. We have the chat open so you guys can join as well, ask questions, and lend your opinions. YouTube search The Trader Coffee Break with Jason Greystone and myself, Akil Stokes, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.